eat my
Hello
neighbor up.
and welcome to UKVersus. We are back, and this should not be up yet. We are an hour earlier than usual because I'm still on a weird sleep schedule with Flynn's school and daylight savings in America, and I thought I'd be nice and accommodate over to Cameron's earlier time. So we're back after a long hiatus. It's been what, 2 months? Cameron has been pumping out content. I've been pumping out content the last couple of weeks, but this is the first time we've come back live. Uh, Cameron, how does it feel to be back on the grind?
Um, Feels all right. I've been trying to take it a little easy until Guilty Gear comes out because I know I'm going to be busy with like day zero builds and stuff like that. So I've been kind of walking my content back a little bit and not uploading my normal 2 videos a week. I've been working on some retro stuff, and I've just been very, very busy in my real life, so I haven't been able to put out the content I wish I could have. But I'm slowly but surely.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I've been grinding ridiculously. If somehow uh, got the new room set up, it's it's still a work in progress. But I mean, I think this week alone, I've put out 9, 10 videos.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're back with a vengeance.
I am 100% by Avengers. It's because I'm doing gameplay ones as well. Now I've got like 4 gameplay things filmed, and it's like, where do I slot this in throughout my like schedule? It's like, I don't post anything on weekends. Well, I now can chuck some stuff in there. And of course,
There
we
you
had a
go.
lot of news over the week, which is also part of why I wanted to kind of post on the weekend because tomorrow we should get this, and that's Godzilla Reign of Kaiju. The name dropped on UGN player, which is a weird one.
Yeah, it's like someone uploaded that a little bit early. Because you think we would get like a Guilty Gear banner first. I think we did, didn't we? So you think that would be the new one?
Yeah, you think you'll get that one? Your cam was your mic was echoing because OBS wanted to be done. But I should have fixed it now.
Okay.
Thank you,
Well, I'm
Daniel.
also working with new technology, so
No, it was
this is our,
more.
our first time recording with all my new stuff. So
Yeah, it's more. I have him set to come through the browser, but I also had desktop audio open from when we did Bake Off. I thought I still had an hour
oh
to
yeah,
sort of do. Yeah, I was expecting Guilty
yeah,
Gear
my
to go
bad.
first. I think they might have just either clicked the wrong one or done a nice little Easter egg. I've not even had a chance to put everything else on here because I've just realised we also got the solo leveling player experience alternate universe stuff, which I'm I'm more excited for now than I was when it was first announced. If that's weird.
I'm glad to see that I am the most negative person in the community about that. Because if my negativity to where I can still see where the game developers are coming from, even if I don't like it, and that's the worst we've got. I'm glad that it only goes up from there. But I do see from other people's like videos that they've made that I am definitely the most vocal about being negative about this. And it's nothing against like UVS games or anything. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and this could be cool, but I just thought it wasn't like a good idea. But
Yeah,
that's why
so
they don't pay me for anything.
well, I was quite annoyed at the start, but R&D told me to take a minute, have a think, have like a proper think about it, and I think the most annoying thing is they picked standard legal characters, especially when you got Biek Ho, which is a very cool character in Soul Leveling, and you reskin Ryu, who is less than 6 months old.
Yeah. Yeah, I did think that you could definitely do like some like people who might rotate next year or even retro characters or something like that. And that could be a cool way to keep some of those older characters alive. I think I said that in my video, but yeah, my
I
video
think
was just a half an hour of me of complaining,
I
and I
think
felt
Cha.
really bad about it.
I did message you yesterday. Like Cha Ho should have been Toga One redone because that would have been really cool.
Yeah, that would have been neat.
But I kind of came around on it more when we got the details of the Shadow Monarch bundle, the fact we're getting 6 new double-sided cards, one of which is an action. They're all going to be, so we're getting the what we're assuming to be these shift attacks, or these flip attacks, and these flip actions, and it's the fact that you're also getting a place of it's a 21 card bundle, which is
Yeah,
really
that's one I'm
cool.
I'm gonna definitely try to pre-order.
Yeah,
That's the only one I'm gonna try to pre-order, and I
I'm
will add the mat that I don't need to something that's gonna be happening with my channel eventually.
I'm probably gonna try and get the Shadow Mountain bundle. I'd love to get Char, but that's only because I have some cool things I like to do with Levi One, and I don't need the Survey Corps keywords. Having that extra health would be very cool.
Yeah, that could be
Oh,
very
have you not
useful.
seen it, Daniel? Yeah, in the details of the stuff you get, there's Sun Jin Woo, 6 new cards. Now, I said I think Sun Jin Woo's going to flip, but other people have said they think the skill tree is going to be one that flips. And then we're getting 4 attacks, and 1 action.
Yeah, having a double-sided skill tree would actually make a lot of sense because then you could just pick which one that you're
Yeah,
using.
that's where other people come from. But I would also just love to have a Sun Jin Woo that flips to the Shadow Monarch because
It's still on my list of things to watch.
yeah. Well, season 3 is coming very soon. But yes, on top of that, uh, let's go with what we know we're guaranteed to get first, which is that starting in November, so let's go. We're gonna have an exclusive PVE event happening at stores that you will gain event points at that you can then use to redeem these embossed Jester Lavar and Ford wedding promos that have already been shown off at the pop-up store in New York. And these are absolutely gorgeous. And then on top of that, if you go to Packs Unplugged, you can get the colorized version as part of an activation event going on there. These are beautiful.
So you don't get these promos at your local game store. You get them for event points.
Yes. So what it said on the article is there will be a yet unnamed PVE boss. I personally think it's going to be Ukatoa because Ukatoa ties in with their story completely, and you get points from taking part in the PVE. But all the PV stuff is digital, similar to Mega Mutant for TMNT. And
Hmm.
then following off that, you'll get to redeem the points for the cards. So whether those cards are going to be sent to stores and you redeem your points in store, or whether it's going to be something that you essentially get for loyalty points, nobody knows.
Yeah,
If
that is kind of interesting. I thought
um,
you would get them like one for playing and then one for if you beat the boss or something like that.
it's an interesting concept for sure, but it might also be like turn around and getting these out. Jester's wedding is next week, and we're not getting these till November, so I'm sure we'll get more details, but that's just what it said. Daniel, if you're going to PAX, I'm going to be so upset. I'm trying to find people who are going because I want these promos. The way they just connect together with the Traveler's kind of arch is just absolutely beautiful.
Oh yeah, these are gorgeous. Even just the normal black and white ones are very
Oh
pretty.
no, the black and white ones are more pretty because these are embossed. These are going to be slightly lifted, kind of very cool. These are the ones I want more. And yeah, as Daniel says, the UGN now has a points redemption kind of code. It might be something that if when you take on the boss, you get given a code and you redeem that code to get hold of these cards, and then it'll be like a print to demand kind of thing.
I could see that.
If you get extras, Daniel, definitely do hit me up. Speaking of redemption promos, we were heard rumors out of Atlanta that on Monday, the Gen Con Critical Role promos will go live on the Redemption Store. Not only that, though, they will be legal for play as of tomorrow. And I've already built a phone ready to go for webcam locals on Tuesday if I can get my partner to agree to let me play.
Awesome.
I took
Well,
every
hopefully these
fire
don't sell out in like 5 seconds.
I took every fire spell and threw it in a deck.
Makes sense.
It does, but yeah, these are absolutely amazing. Dorian is probably the more interesting of the two, but I absolutely love Fern. Uh, I'm still on campaign for it a minute, and yeah, these have been a long time coming. It's great to know that these are going to be legal. I'm still hoping we get more Critical Role next year, but yeah, as the rumor mill says, it's looking a bit unlikely. But I love these promos so much. I'm so happy I'm going to get a chance to actually play them. How
Yeah,
about
that's going to be really cool. Like I said, I hope they don't sell out in like 10 seconds.
the big question is, Cameron? Do you
Cuz
have Day Zero builds ready to go for these?
no. No, I don't have day 0 builds ready for these cuz I didn't know when they'd be going live. So I
you
didn't
were
know if like
they
hey,
were
there's
no
spells in Guilty Gear, so I wanted to make sure that I had everything ready.
no
And turns out no. These are
no
coming out a lot quicker
yeah.
than I thought they would. So
Apparently, this was announced in Atlanta yesterday, so you've had an entire day to do your Day Zeros.
I said in the pre-show what I've been doing this week, and I've
You've been
other
doing
than
a
that, I've
lot.
been playing Digimon Time Story because I just picked that up this weekend. So that's where a lot of my free time's been going.
Ah,
Enjoying a
nice.
video game for the first time in years.
And you've done a Riftbound demo as well.
I did that a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I
Ah,
got the little promo, whatever the little yordle thing is. So that was
Timu,
fun.
Timu,
Uh, Temu, yeah.
Timu.
I
Yeah.
played the Temu, like the store. So yeah, I played the worst character that they offered of the four because there was four of us. I was like, I'll just pick the bad guy.
Vote
And
that.
by the end of turn 3, I was ahead, so everyone jumped on me, and that was kind of rough.
Yeah, I know some people have just been doing like local championships and stores are still doing Riftbound promos, and there's one in my area that's like 2 hours away, and it's on the same day that my partner's away. I'm like, I want one of these Timus. But the big thing you wanted to talk about before we get into the tier list, which tier list is not going to take too long. We have half the regular characters. Is you wanted to talk about the upcoming ban and erratas for October. So we should be getting those on Tuesday if they don't delay it due to everyone traveling back and then we need to discuss the data. Uh, and you've got 5 characters you wanted to talk about.
um,
You got 2 cards you wanted to talk about, and then I threw some extra spice in there.
yeah, because I know a lot of people are talking about Godzilla and Deku 6. That things need to be done. I'm not sure how much they're going to touch those characters specifically, mainly because they're very hesitant to touch, Challenger deck series cards. They're very hesitant to touch characters.
So
But the main thing I wanted to
UVS
talk about,
UVS are on
yeah,
record in the Discord as saying the product that it comes in, whether it's a Clash deck, a Challenger deck, a set, a box, a promo, does not affect how they look at the card. Just because a card was in a Challenger does not mean they are not going to ban or errata or touch it. It's treated as any other card. That is something that they have stated on Discord.
and that's probably true. But historically speaking, I mean, it took them a very long time to mess with combined firepower.
Yeah,
So
my boy is died for that.
yeah. So the main card I wanted to talk about was kind of like a two-card combo: Equipment Heist and Massive Mutant Machine. A lot of people are calling out for something to be done about one of these two cards. Either Massive Mutant Machine something, I don't know, or make Massive Mutant Machine unique, or do something to Equipment Heist. I don't know. I personally don't think they would do something to Equipment Heist. I think they would make 3M unique if they're going to touch any of the either of those two cards. Because if you've seen any of my content, you'd know I thought that should have been unique from preview, like Day Zero errata it. But now you're seeing all these Equipment Heist decks with like Devil Jin, Hawks, where you can get Massive Mutant Machine cheated in pretty cheaply. Pumat can cheat it in pretty easily. There's all these decks that are abusing this one asset, and it's, I wouldn't say meta warping or meta defining, but it's certainly something you have to be prepared for.
It's a negative play
Um,
experience.
it definitely can be. And when I made the video about Pumat Soul, I had like an air or an order Pumat that was mainly just like pristine swordplay, walk the dog, just like a air weapons build with only the Massive Mutant Machine. I actually did even more homework and made a Pumat that ran 4 Massive Mutant Machine and 4 9 Titans. Another card that should have been unique, and it runs a full Titans package and is even more disgusting because yeah, sure, you can moment of normalcy me. I'm still base 10 damage. Still deal with it.
Yeah,
Or on turn 2, I'm chucking 34 plus damage from 1 9 Titans and maybe 1 Massive Mutant Machine. So I wouldn't be surprised if Massive Mutant Machine, maybe 9 Titans got unique. I think that would be
I
very good
think.
for the health of the game. I
Mm,
don't know if they would touch Equipment Heist, though.
I think they both need to get unique. That should have always been the case. I think equipment heist gets touched because you also take into account OCE camera bearer, and even though it only got 10th place, the Allura Falling Titans combo, which I have made videos on in the past, equipment heist basically says if I have one Megazord, you don't get to play this game, especially if you combine it with City Rampage.
Um, I don't think that's Equipment Heist.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking
Oh no,
of,
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the other one. Yeah.
yeah, you're thinking
Exterminate
of
Mutants. Yeah.
Exterminate Mutants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
not worried about Exterminate
No.
Mutants. It's
Uh.
mainly the Equipment Heist of being able to build in uh, assets
Yeah.
from your deck or discard pile, so you can sacrifice them with like pristine swordplay, bring them back, and
I think
just all this
they've
insanity.
had a history of banning infinites in the past, and even though they're still very janky, you can still there's still multiple ways you can do infinite. You can do infinite airship with equipment heist.
Yeah, you'd have to jump through a few more hoops because of how
No,
the unique rule works now,
you play
but
one attack, which is from TMNT that makes you that is blitz flip an asset.
yeah, you could do that. You would just have to have a way to unflip them
No, you don't need
or
to.
destroy the found or sack the
Uh,
foundation.
hold on a second. I'm going to be in some trouble with the guy that sent me the list. But yes, so you play military airship. You commit it, pick up something you played before. Commit it, pick something up. Then you play tool toss. You flip the military airship to get 2 damage. You then use quick arrival to destroy the military airship for 1 speed. You then use equipment heist to build back in the military airship.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. But at least you still have to have the 3 or more attacks in your card pool in order to do that, so you're
Yeah,
still kind of playing on a lot of progressive difficulty for it. But
you're playing tool toss on a
I just think a
six.
lot of these, yeah, I just think a lot of these where you're like playing Hawk's Feathers or you're cheating in attacks with Devil Jin where you can just turbo these things out is a little,
Yeah,
again, Massive Mutant Machine should just have unique. I think that'd make it a lot easier. And I still think 9 Titans also should be unique because of, again, Pumat Soul and not to give the spice away, one of my locals was supposed to be in Atlanta, and we built him a Smiling Titan deck that focused on using Duplicitous Recollection to build in 9
yeah,
Titans and just go ham with that and the Rumbling, because Rumbling then threatens for 27 damage. So
yeah.
it's
Duplicitous
disgusting.
Recollection is one of my favorite attacks from Battlefield Humanity. Godzilla. I know people are still hyped on it, and it's great that I, in the least like insulting way possible. It's great you guys over in the US have caught up to the EU and Australia, who have been saying Godzilla is an absolute beast for over a year. But it's Godzilla's not the issue. City rampages. Godzilla doesn't give speed. Godzilla is he has form control, but he's won one event out of the last five, and he didn't even top four this one, despite his like was showing it at the event. If you can play
See,
random,
my problem isn't with Rampage.
no, what shows me?
My problem is that is all of the free momentum he gets from the chaos
I
symbol.
was gonna
I
get
think that allowing him to extend his strings even without City Rampage and you can play almost infinite defense, I think that's where we have a lot of issue, at least from like the testing I've been doing it for and against Godzilla. Because of another one of my locals who was supposed to be in Atlanta was taking Godzilla. I think in the last two tournaments, he saw City Rampage once, and he was still killing people on turn two just because he was able to build so much free momentum to extend his checks.
So City Rampage isn't the issue in Godzilla. It's a win more in Godzilla because you don't need the additional to the checks. What City Rampage does is take characters like Krista and Alora and these characters that
And
are
Pumat.
and Pumat and all these characters that share symbols. And even when we get to Guilty Gear, when we look at things like Bridget and May, City Rampage
Or Soul
May,
Bad Guy.
also bad guy, are going to be absolute beasts on these symbols. If does Bridget, I don't know. I've got other issues with Bridget,
We'll
because
we'll segue to that when we get
yeah,
there.
yeah. But having this ability to, like I said, with the Allura deck, being able to go cool, exterminate mutants, City Rampage, Fallen Titans, pick it up, Fallen Titans, pick it up, Fallen Titans, pick it up, knowing you can't check less than a 5 on this 7 difficulty attack is very
Yeah.
nasty, and you're just going to keep doing it. It's not fun for your opponent. I barely find it in fun myself the few times I've pulled it off. It's not great. Godzilla, you are correct. It's not Godzilla is the issue. It's the free momentum, and I think he gets touched December. Give people like a couple of weeks to play Godzilla with the momentum before we get into. Uh,
Worlds.
no, because there's regionals in December, isn't
Oh.
there?
I'll be honest, once I hit Louisville, I stopped caring when the
Yeah,
regionals were
there's
because I couldn't go to any more.
yeah, there's one more in December, if I'm remembering correctly. So you give people a few days to play Godzilla with all the tension cards, and then Godzilla just gets absolutely nerfed into the ground. And I know what people are going to say watching the VOD back, but they've just shown off like 3 cards, literally the evening we're recording this, that get rid of your opponent's momentum. It's like, yeah, that's cool. The infinite
Oh,
attack.
did they show off new cards on the stream?
Yeah, they've been showing off these cards on the stream. We've got a action that will force your opponent to spend momentum. There's a new attack on the infinity symbol that says when you play this card, your rival spends momentum. But that doesn't matter with how turns now play out because Godzilla goes, here's my 5 diff, here's my spatula, whatever it's called, the 5 diff Earth card that goes, cool. I'm a 3 for 8, and I give you a momentum. Before your opponent even gets to touch that momentum with their enhanced, you go, my first enhanced Godzilla, I'm going to spend that momentum. Because you go Blitz,
Yeah, it's a
enhanced.
4 for 8 actually.
It's a 4 for 8, and if you already have another momentum, it's a 4 for 11.
Yeah.
Because you go tension, then the other Blitz. So it's a 4-8 that goes, cool, your next one gets +2, and your opponent, unless they're running unless they want to seal this, which feels really bad, just sealing something goes, here's some momentum. It's it's just a terrible position to be. It's not a good play experience. You're having to use answers and tools that are meant to keep you alive, stopping something that shouldn't exist. An
Yeah.
overabundance of a resource leads to power imbalances, and Travis has done an excellent job of showing all the free draw that currently exists in the game makes Krista something that people weren't expecting a very viable option. Same with Mikasa that we've seen. I know Tam's thinking of bringing Mikasa to Glasgow, but because of all the draw power that exists, I know Guilty Gear is just going to go, here's a bunch of momentum, and the game is a very delicate ecosystem, and the more you give of one resource, something else is going to die out from it.
Yeah, this is why I told my Godzilla players, like, if you're going into Atlanta, you should probably think about, what was it, like Crushing Stomp, the 8 diff that says if it hits, your rival spends all their momentum. I
Hmm.
was like, you might consider citing that for some of these momentum heavy decks, especially like a Godzilla, or if you hit like an Amajiki, because some of those are floating around because of all the momentum you can get to flip and unflip. Which, speaking of, side note,
Yeah.
Roman cancel tokens, are they considered face up momentum for Amajiki? Because if so, screw that.
I mean, they're in the momentum and they can be spent like momentum,
And they are face up.
and they are face up. Yeah. this has led to like a bunch of things. Like if you flip them, do they still disappear?
I don't know.
If
We
if
need FAQs.
if an effect comes into play that says that you can build a momentum face down into your stage, do they disappear? Hopefully, this all get answered in the FAQ. But Roman Cancel was spoiled for me back at the first summit.
Oh, so you've had time to think about this.
Not only have I had time to think of this, the first. So basically, we got out there. I processed it all. I did. I basically, as side effects are coming on, I get like a couple of UVS members to the side. And very quiet. Let's go. You can't spend Roman Cancel like regular momentum, right? Because that's insane. And I was like, I was just they went, no, 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 no. We're gonna find. We're gonna make sure that you can't spend it like momentum. I was like, cool, let's go. That's fine. I've got no issue with it then. And we get an email through for after something going at the bottom. It's like, some of you asked us about Roman Cancell's momentum. We told you it couldn't be spent. That's wrong. It can actually be spent like regular momentum. I'm like, God damn it.
The test shows that that was a lie.
Daniel saying Giles confirmed that it counts as face momentum. Yeah, Amajiki just gets to laugh for days.
At least until rotation.
Until, yeah, I mean, he's going to
But
be.
yeah, but now Amajiki with Guilty Gear might be incredibly viable with all these tension attacks on top of his own game plan.
Yeah.
And he has more defense now. But we're not here to talk about Rising Stars. I have a whole video coming out for that once we get the full Guilty Gear set.
And plus, when Tenchi was announced, although I didn't put his image up, Amajiki's one I talked about. The fact that not two gets better, not one gets better. Jester just get you got cool. I'll make a Roman Cancel cool. Spend it, and I'll immediately get my momentum as well because Jester, unless your opponent can spend the momentum, so yeah, you're giving them more permanent momentum, but they might not have momentum out. The big thing for me is Guilty Gear has all three Godzilla symbols and gives free momentum. That's
and
nuts.
most of the attacks have tension. So you got to think of any tension 5 diff and greater earth, water, or chaos
And
attack.
as Daniel
We've already seen at least one.
As Daniel pointed out, there are also spells, which means Jester gets to pick them up.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I am very excited for Guilty Gear, and I know a lot of people are not so big on the characters, which I guess can segue into our next thing.
Yeah.
But this set has me, as I concerned my locals with, this set's been tickling my brain meats, and I'm very excited.
I mean, I've already got one thing set, but yeah. So these are just talking about Banzermas. I don't think Godzilla gets touched until before the last regionals because that's the only one Guilty Gear kind of impacts. If not, he gets touched by Worlds because he just dominates that regionals. City Rampage should have gone ages ago. Azure died for so many other card skins.
Right at the very end.
That doesn't count City Rampage, but yeah. But let's get over to what the main thing again, probably where I'll cut the video. So if you're watching this as part of the news, thanks for being here. Like, subscribe, check out the other content, and if you want to see some of my exclusive videos, as a member now, I've got things like Uncut Bake Off. I've got hot mics, so I've got Jeremy Ray talking about the Zero Diff Foundations behind a paywall because he didn't want me releasing it publicly. But yeah, but so if you want to become a member, I absolutely appreciate that. Support the channel. But for now, we're going to head over to do our Guilty Gear tier list because we have these amazing 8 characters for Guilty Gear.